right. We
So
are
fancy.
back.
That was cool.
Back. Oh yeah.
I love that video.
Modern Brick. You gotta bring her out of her retirement. Modern Brick.
Oh, Modern Brick with Martin. Oh, she made that, huh?
Yeah,
So
she made
cool.
that for me. Free of
Wow.
charge. She hooked me up. She took her time, made it right. You know, I was real demanding, and she still hooked me up.
I thought that was all you.
Nah, I can't do that. That is an art in itself, friend.
Mhm, mhm.
All right, we're back. I guess we're talking about mock ideas, and how to start it. I guess how to start it.
Yeah.
I have decidedly less experience in this area, so I'm looking forward to learning a little bit.
Me too.
Lies.
Me too.
And all that good stuff behind them lies.
I have even less experience. I think I'm like the biggest newbie here, so this is going to be like a good intro because I'm about to like get into it. So,
but I think the granddaddy is this guy right here, Mr. Brick Adjuster.
Me?
I think he is the granddaddy. Yes, you are. You've been around for a while, sir. So,
Yeah.
like mock ideas. If a youngster come up to you and say, "Hey, look, I want to be a great mock person," what are you going to tell him?
Well, what about? I'll just kind of tell you guys how I started, maybe. And so my first kind of major mock was Cloud Cuckoo Land.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember the Lego movie?
Mm-hmm.
And so the Cloud Cuckoo Land, where it had like all those, I guess, Unikitty and everything. And so I had a second of those. I think it was a Cloud Cuckoo set, and I just kind of expanded it. And while I was expanding it, I was like, oh, this is cool how I'm just arranging things randomly, and then made it bigger. And then I found, okay, maybe I should look at some pictures just to kind of get a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like taking screenshots of the movie and looking at the backgrounds. And so for that mock idea, I was just something came to me from watching the Lego movie. I just wanted to make something of my own.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was like taking ideas from the movie, but I just wanted kind of to create something. I found like that big duck. Actually, if you want to, I still have it up there. So Cloud Cuckoo Land is kind of up there.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, remember.
There's the big duck, and I guess if I can move it a bit closer. So I kind of expanded it, but plus adding like some other sets, I guess. But that was like my very first mock, and I brought that to Philly Brick Fest, my first Lego convention in 2015, and the kids didn't even know it was from the Lego movie. they saw the duck and they said it was Ducky Momo. So then I just went with it. Okay, yeah, that's Ducky Momo, even though I didn't know who Ducky Momo was at the time. And then other kind of mocks I started doing were like I started playing around with micro because again I didn't really see a lot of micro out there, and I kind of like doing stuff that's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started I first got that micro modular set, you know, the one. Yes. I think it had like the fire brigade, and it had like 4 different. And so I had the idea of making other buildings the same kind of style, similar to that. So that's kind of how my first, and so I would make one, I'd put it on Instagram, and then I'd make another one, put on Instagram. Mm-hmm. And then that kind of grew into, started making like little zoo and like a shopping center and like a water thing. And then it turned into like this big sprawling micro city, and I called it Smallville. And so that was like another project I started working on. And then from that stemmed the amusement park phase. And then I started doing like all these little micro rides, and then I called it Smalley World. Mm-hmm. And so I had like the roller coaster, and I had like the rocking ship, and I had the Ferris wheel, the drop tower, the race car, the water canoe thing.
Those are so cool.
It's on.
I went
It's on
back
the
in your
Instagram as
Instagram and
well.
looked, and those are awesome. It's worth a look for sure.
Did
And
you
then-
do you still have them, or are they all disassembled at this point?
Hoarders never disassemble.
Got it.
Oh, so it's the good stuff, man. I knew you was holding out.
Oh my
So
gosh.
It's all over here. It's motorized as well. That was like my next
Oh,
venture. Doing like
So cool.
Man, we need an in-person show so bad, man. Oh man.
So good.
Man, I want that aero jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that is a cool set.
I'm so mad I slept on that set. If I could get my hands on that set, I'd do anything. Oh man, look at that.
That looks really cool.
Oh, we need an in-person show bad. Oh, look at that.
Yeah. Oh man. I want to sit and watch that stuff move, and
Mhm.
I want to play with it.
Oh, you're on mute, I think.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Like in
there. It's in the amusement park section of my room tour. If you want to, if you like skip ahead, you'll see everything moving on the latest room tour.
Okay.
But yeah, that was like another kind of phase. And then after that, the next kind of phase was like the Lego Dimension phase. Lego Dimension was a thing. So I started making micro scenes of the different Lego Dimension. And I would do another. It's like a picture.
Here we go.
Like a vignette. I love this ride that we're going through. Yeah.
yeah. Talk about an amusement park. Yeah.
How do I make this straight? So I made like a micro Tower of Orthanc.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god, how fun! Mystery Mansion. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's Doctor Who in the back there.
Oh,
Okay, okay.
nice.
This is so
And
cool.
then there's like the Ghostbusters.
Mhm.
That was Portal.
Mm-hmm.
Down here, Micro Simpsons.
The Simpsons.
Back to the Future. Justice League.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, these are so fun.
I live the
And,
Clintons, so I'll be there as soon as I can. Don't worry.
Arkham Asylum.
Nice. See, I knew it. I knew it. See, I told you he was like the granddaddy of MOCs. I told you. See.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
a
these
sea
are
cow.
awesome. Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Your Ninjago one is really cool too.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Ninjago stuff, that's this year. So that was so all this stuff that I just showed you was like 2015, 2016, 2017, and then I kind of disappeared. And then
Well, you kept it all together.
yeah, because hoarders don't take stuff apart.
He disappeared.
Yeah, I disappeared from YouTube. Well, I disappeared from making MOCs. I wasn't building MOCs. I was building the sets, but not the MOCs.
Yeah.
And so coming back, I was planning on buying the Ninjago Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the idea of what if I
buy it.
Well, I bought it, but when it was coming out, I had the idea of making the micro version of all three. And so I started working on the micro Ninjago City first in anticipation for the actual gardens when it finally came out. And so next.
Here we go. Here
we go again.
Me too. I ain't mad.
Oh man, that's so good.
I know.
Here's the city, right?
So
then I made
Shelf
this.
space looks wonders.
If you had a picture of those from far away, like you could convince me it was the actual set.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's right spot on.
I know.
Yeah, so I try to get like the identifiable pieces. So like this thing here, that's the identifiable. Yeah. Because that's when you see that, you know it's Ninjago City.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's a good point.
I was trying to find the wheel there.
Yeah.
And so we know that that's the wheel. And of course, like this thing here.
Exactly.
That. So kind of the major things that identify.
You're an assassin. You're a brick assassin. No longer.
And then Apocalypseburg from what
Yeah. In a week. Yeah.
Wait, you did that in a week?
The brick
No,
assassin.
I did it like I usually do it like in 2 days.
That's awesome.
Each one is like 2 days. But so my latest thing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got it. Yeah.
My latest thing is video. So if you've seen on my Instagrams, I've been working on the video MOCs. And remember last week I was talking before the stream. I was showing you guys like that ice cream thing I was working on.
Yeah.
So since that Tuesday, I've done 9.
Oh my
They're
god!
so good. They're so fun.
So I'll do another.
Here we go again. Here we go.
again.
Here we go.
Wait. You can kind of see them there.
Okay.
Yeah.
The concert scenes.
Yeah, if you want a close-up picture in high quality, go give them a follow.
Right.
So these are the
Yeah, they're so awesome.
What?
And I love all like the themed minifigures from other series and stuff that you've found. You know,
Right. The baby shark going on there.
So this was the one I was working on last week with the ice cream in the back.
Oh,
So I finished that.
it's ridiculous.
And we got the panda dancer.
I need to hurry up and sort my pieces.
what's the alien one was today, right?
Actually, today was this one. I just finished the disco one today.
Oh my
I
god!
love that background too.
Yo.
I love that tiling. I was thinking about doing some tiling like that in like the main square of my amusement park. I love it.
Saloon, and then so the one I'm working on that I want to do tomorrow, we'll go here, and it's I want to do it's with the werewolf. Oh,
Are you doing the ones that like you're most excited about first, or are you saving the best for last?
the ones I was most excited about first.
Yeah. Okay.
But it seems like as I'm going, they're getting better. So like I was most excited about the shark, but I'm not as impressed with that mock compared to like it seems like I'm getting better as I'm going. And I think that's true for like any mocks you kind of do. You kind of get better. It seems like I was lazy with like the first one because it's just a stage with a bunch of minifigures and like a stage dive. Whereas like the latest one I did was like the disco thing, and it's even like the saloon. It's like more detailed.
Okay.
So the latest one I'm working on is I want to do is it's with the werewolf, right? The drummer.
Yeah.
So I want to do some sort of like busker scene where he's like at a subway and he's like drumming away on like these
buckets.
Yeah, like kind of like buckets. And I have this other guy. So he's gonna be like the partner. He's gonna be with the saxophone, and he's gonna have like the open case with the money.
Are you gonna have a big full moon in the background?
See, I was thinking about the moon thing, but then I already did.
Oh, he dropped. No. Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Right.
Leaving us hanging.
Don't leave us hanging.
Oh man, there he is.
Oh, I accidentally, like with these Macs, they have like that thing where it's like touch screen on the bottom.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I had to touch something because I was trying.
I know. I still haven't figured out how to use mine. It's very.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh, the full moon. Yeah, I already have like a moon in like that graveyard scene. Because at first I was gonna have like a howling at the moon, but then I decided to go with the busker theme.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay. So
cool.
So yeah.
Did you say like a subway, right?
Yeah, I want to do like a subway station, and have him like
do a full moon diner in the background.
No, but like it's like underground. Like you can't.
Yeah, there's diners underground. There's diners in subways. Like
No, but like a full moon, you can't see a full.
There's no moon. No, that's true.
You say a full moon diner.
Yeah, that's true. That's like it's like the theme of the diner itself.
Let's see. Look! The wheels are turning. Yeah.
But yeah, that's usually like for mocks. Like I just kind of start, and you kind of go through that rabbit hole, and you're just kind of doing a whole bunch of. You get excited.
Yeah.
Even like I did build like that Winnie the Pooh set, but then I was like itching to finish that so I can keep going on with the video mocks, and I know, and then once the video mocks are done, I know I'm like, oh, okay, let's just build sets again until like a new inspiration comes.
Okay, so you wait for inspiration. I mean, maybe we.
I mean, you don't have to stop there because, like, I mean, what you're doing is you're getting inspiration off of the new style of minifigures. You can go back in your collection of minifigures, like the series, and build habitats for the series. So don't think, yeah, you see that? Look at the
like series 20.
Yeah, but then space is an issue though, and I have like I bought the new shelves, and so I'm like, okay, we'll put the video in there. Because I have three boxes, and I know that there's 12 in the bandmates, and there's 6 of the beat boxes, so it's perfect for the video display.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw like you were trying to like do like a middle shelf and stuff as well, like from the IKEA haul and stuff. Yeah, I feel like, you could probably. I think IKEA sells like a middle shelf for these things too.
Back to IKEA. Yeah. So with that, what you just showed, right, and that brings me to my point: is it important when you're doing mocks? Is it important to kind of add the popular culture, like you use video, right, and you made those vignettes out of the video minifigures, right? Is it popular to pick is it good to pick popular pop culture, like now you got like what's his name, Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff like that. Is it how like most Star Wars people go towards Star Wars mocks and stuff like that? Is it important to add that pop culture to your mocks?
I think for shows, when you bring it to a show, it helps because the public will identify with it right away. They'll like flock to it because they know what it is, like with the pop culture. And then whereas if it's something just out of left field, I'm just going with like, for if you want to bring it to a show, people are like, oh, well, then they kind of move on, and you don't get that big draw. I guess for yourself, when you brought the Avengers Tower, that's like a good pop culture thing, and then like a whole bunch of people come. That's what I find. Like when I'm as like a viewer too, looking around, I tend to like flock towards the pop culture type mock. Like I'll look at something that's cool, do some space thing that's cool, but then I won't really like. I like the pop culture ones more for me. I don't know about you guys.
Okay. I do. I think it's important, so people can automatically see what it is, like like automatic, like if you see a Star Wars mock, you can identify it just like that. You've seen those iconic scenes, and I think that plays a huge role.
Yeah, especially if you want to like engage discussion about it and stuff, that makes sense. But like you don't want to force it though. It would be my prediction on it, right? Like if you are inspired by pop culture, you know what I mean, then like go for it. But like if you're just doing it because it's like the latest thing, right? Aren't you not going to probably produce the best thing? Like I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, what do you mean?
Like if you're not inspired to do it, won't your final product reflect that?
Yeah, I mean,
that's true. Yeah.
I'm on board with Claire there. Like, I generally just wouldn't get that excited about doing something from pop culture. With maybe some exceptions, maybe like more nostalgia type stuff would be more like. I think it's childhood. I'd rather mock something from that than something brand new. I think, but I don't know.
I think it depends if you're into that pop culture thing.
Yeah,
because there's so many different pop culture things out there, and if you're gonna pick something that you're not really digging, then why would you even do it?
Totally.
Yeah. Some other things that I wanted to bring up was that so you got the pop culture, and like I mean, how would you even do research on your mock? Like I mean, how would you if you're going to do a mock, how would you do your research on it?
Let's throw this to Kevin or Claire first, just to see what they would do, like as a new.
For me, maybe this is something people know, or but like for me, the worst thing I've ever done is like look at anyone else who's doing something similar in Lego, right? As soon I will look for pictures of like scenes or types of things or whatever. But if I'm trying to build something specific, if I see what someone else has done, I just want to make that. Even if what I did on my own would end up, being better or different or more interesting to me. But like, it's hard for me if my goal is just to make something and then to have it, then I'm probably going to just fall in the trap of trying to do what they did, but way worse. Whereas like looking at actual pictures of whatever I'm trying to make is going to help me a lot better. Like right now, so I got that big spider, right? And I want to build a web and stuff. There I did research on like, I have a picture of what a spider web looks like, but I don't actually understand them, or I didn't. And then I just looked it up. And so now I know how a spider makes its web, and I know what shape I need to make and what area I need to have and what order I could put the pieces in to make sure that it looked right. So that is something cool too, where like the actual shape of the structure and where it can fit is going to be dictated by like what's actually possible in nature. So that is something I did just the other day, actually, that was really exciting.
That's cool.
And that kind of inspired like, okay, what types of pieces am I going to need? What angles am I going to need? That type of thing. So still haven't figured it all out, but it's getting there.
Are you going to build it with Technic, or?
I'm going to do a mix of, I think, mostly plates on a like one of those octagon pieces in the middle, and then I'm gonna try to use the like, I'm gonna see how it looks. Do I have one? When I use these like silicone things, the like little rope ones, that would be like.
Oh,
I'm gonna see what it looks like, and if I like it, I'll go with it. I have a bunch of extras that I just got in a Bricklink order. I tagged them on. I just tagged them on because I had some. So I'll see what it looks like. If I like it, then I'll go with it. If not, I'll try something else and see what happens. But I'm not thinking Technic right now, but we'll see.
That sounds awesome. Okay. Like, the things that I really want to mock are more modifications. Like, they're things that I don't like about sets, or that I would like to see improved on this set. That's like really where I'm finding like my most inspiration. And I obviously I really love buildings and I love the modulars. And so there's a lot of buildings like the Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine, for example, which isn't a modular, right? It's like kind of this like splayed out. It's like a building that was created into a place.
Oh, the mansion.
Yeah, sorry, not the machine. Yeah, the mansion, Mystery Mansion. I have it. It's like right there. But like, it's kind of like it's a perfect little corner piece. But at the same time, like if you wanted to put it in a city or something like that, it would be cool to put it. So I was kind of thinking about that. Then I usually go on rebrickable.com to like find inspiration. And I really didn't like anything that I saw. And I was like, okay, maybe this is like a good one for me to get, my feet wet a little bit more. I also love like the micro builds. Like I've seen a lot of inspiration like online for like micro builds of like ships, like the Pirates of the Caribbean ships and things like that. That's something I might get like my feet wet with, but I'm stemming it from like things that I like. I build a set and I'm like, I kind of wish it was like this. And then I think that's where I'm going to go with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like you were talking about, so she just had this great, I love that video you put up, the architect's review of Blacksmith. Blacksmith. And you were talking about how the roof doesn't really do it for you because it's not really true to the architecture at the time, right?
Yeah, it's not. So like I actually have it right here. So like I really like this technique, and I think the Nexonite shields, like laying them on here is like the fish scale effect of it is really, really cool. But I just don't think it's to scale with the size of the building that that it's created. And because if you go and look back, shingles aren't this size. Roof thatch, and because of the colors, I think it's supposed to symbolize shingles versus like obviously a thatched roof is. I know that this is like moss, but I don't know what the blue would be. And so it would have been like, first of all, like shades of gray if it was a thatched roof. If it's a tiled roof, fine, it's blue. Blue is a very difficult color to get in tile. First of all, that was like clearly a decision that they made. And I think it was based off of the maybe the original idea set. And if you look at the original idea set, it also like doesn't, or the fan design, theirs was much smaller scale.
Yeah.
So I don't think I want to do what the fan did, but I just want something a little bit to scale. Like there's something like unappealing to it. I don't know why. It just looks like it looks like the roof is just way too big, which doesn't suit me. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm curious when you do finally finish that to see how it turns out.
So am I. I'm curious. I've ordered like I have a lot of like I did like a big bulk buy, like someone was moving and had a lot of new pieces that they like just didn't for some reason need. It was very weird, but whatever. I got a lot of great pieces for a really great price. And so I think, of course, like I go through it and like nothing that I want, like there's not enough purple for like the Scooby. There's like not enough of the tile that I want for this roof. And now I'm like, okay, how do I make it work with the piece or the parts collection that I have, which is relatively large.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess like what do you guys do? Do you like try to like do MOCs first with just like any single color that you have? And then if it works, then you'll go order the pieces in that color that you want? Or like, how do you guys do that?
I mean, I'm curious what they have to say. I can tell you what I do first real quick. In general, I have enough of every kind of piece that I kind of know how they work. And so I will build it with any piece that I have in any color if necessary, just to see what it looks like. And then if I like it, I might build it on the computer. If I haven't figured out exactly what color palette I want, I'll build it in the software and then mess with the colors and see what I like, and then order it from there or something like that.
Makes sense.
For me, I just kind of build with what I have. The only time I really did the Bricklink order was like that first Cloud Cuckoo MOC where I didn't have a lot of what I knew I wanted to make clouds, so I just ordered a bunch of white brick. I ordered a bunch of yellow and orange for the big duck. But like all my other MOCs, I just make do with what I have from breaking down all the sets that I don't display, and I usually just have them all organized, and then I just whatever I have, then I just kind of make do with it. I don't really. Sorry.
So if something isn't on display, it's parted out right now.
Yeah, like I'll buy sets just because I like the minifigures, and so I'll build it, and then I'll take it apart and add it to my collection of brick. Yeah. And then when it's time to do MOCs, I know
you have
I have a whole bag of whatever it is, and a whole bag of this, and then I just use it. And it's easier now than I guess five years ago when I didn't have as much brick. Right. But it's easier now just to make MOCs because I have a lot just to play with.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Sorry, you were gonna say something. I cut you.
Oh, I was gonna ask. Yeah, like because a lot of like the mini MOCs or the mini builds that you do the colors are very specific. Like you have to have, like you had to have that sand green for the Ninjago. You have to have that pale yellow, and in the right area. You have to have, So it's like it's just circumstantial that you have. Like,
I was lucky. I had that piece.
Yeah.
If I didn't have it, then I try to make it a different way, but I'd still try to make it
with what you have.
With what I have. Like I didn't have the actual circle. It's like in a maroon color, where in the actual set it's red. I didn't have a red circle. I would have had a maroon, but it still worked. So
interesting.
Try to do.
What about you, Mel?
I think I mean if I'm tackling a MOC, right? Whether if it's a modification to a set or just my own creation, I definitely do my research. I take pictures, lots of pictures. I think I've taken so many pictures on my phone that I probably need a new phone because I don't want to delete any pictures. I don't, I need more storage, I got I'm gonna tell you, I got probably about 5,000 pictures in my phone.
Jeez.
And I want to say like 90%, 95% of those pictures are Lego.
And
you gotta upload to the cloud. You gotta upload to the cloud.
I do, but whatever reason, it's what I fear is that if I upload it to the cloud and I delete it from my phone, it deletes from the cloud. so I don't delete it off my phone. So I'll take pictures, and then I'll search. I'll go around and search and see if anybody else had made that mock. Like, for instance, Lego, Star Wars Lego fanatics. A lot of people have done Kashyyyk, right? A lot of people have done that. A lot of people have done similar mocks, and I would hate to do a mock that somebody already like you have that one epic build, and
David.
Like David in Mandalore. I would never do that. Build would be so awesome because I love.
I'm talking about his Kashyyyk one,
right? Yeah. Oh, well, his Kashyyyk one was awesome, but even his Mandalorian, I would never attempt to do that, because when he did that, he killed it all. Like, he killed it. Like, he knocked it way out of the park. It was so bad that it was on a ping pong table, wasn't it? Or a tennis? It was like a ping pong table, right?
Ping pong table.
There's no way that no one can compete with that. That's just way above and beyond. And so I would never step in that realm, because that's that's like going for a heavyweight bout. And so I would do my research to see if anybody else done anything that's similar, and if they have, maybe I need to put my spin on it. Because you've seen one mock of a scene, an epic scene, you've seen them all, right? And it's like you're just reproducing the same thing. And I mean, Bricklink, yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll try and try to do pieces, try to mock up with pieces that I already own. But chances are I'm probably gonna Bricklink, because I just don't feel like searching for those pieces. I need to have them. But like I need to have them, but I'll do what Kevin does. Like, I'll try in different colors and then look, just to get the technique down. And then once I get the technique, I'll go and get the right colors I need.
Yeah. Makes sense. It's interesting. Like, the way that you were talking about that was very like in the mind space of competition. Do you think it's just because of your experience on the show, or have you always been kind of competing like with your mocks? It's like, whenever you do a mock, is it only for, is it to compete, or is it for yourself? Which is fine. Either one is fine. I'm not passing any judgment. I'm just curious.
For me, it's always the competition. It is. I'm a big. I would be, if my real name, if we had like stage names, like we really do. I would probably be the gambler, because I'm always game for competition. I am. And it's just the excitement for me. And that's basically down what it is. It's just the excitement to take on something, maybe something somebody already done already, and just I'll just put my spin on it and try to make it better.
Yeah, you mentioned last time that you were an athlete and stuff, so that makes sense, like how that trickled down.
And Claire, how it happened was that I didn't take it that serious until I went to a show and I lost, right? And I lost to one of my good friends. I lost it indeed, because he's been bricking a long time. But I felt like, man, like I got nominated, but I didn't win. And so I spent that whole year just focused on that one build that people wouldn't just walk away from. And that's when I came with that PS4 Avengers Tower. Because I was locked in, and luck had it, I won, and so it's just like, all right, this is where. So now every time I take on a mock, this is where my mind need to be. I need to be locked in for that, that 100%, and just not halfway do something. So,
what about for a commission?
Even that, like that, let me tell you, Kevin, that commission build, like that Patterson Theater, I was definitely for the 3 months that I spent on that. I was definitely locked in on that, and I learned the hard way, because I could tell you I went over budget, because I have expensive tastes. I do, and I wanted to look professional, so I'm going to go the extra mile to go ahead and make it look right, because I'm not just going to hand in some garbage or some dirt.
Right. Yeah.
And so I've learned a lot of new techniques in that build, like by doing that. And like I said, I did my research. I looked around. Like you say, you look at Flickr, you look at Instagram, you're looking at different tips and bricks and stuff like that with wall techniques and stuff. And I'm looking, and that's how I came up with that brick, the brick wall with the tiles, using the tiles, tips and bricks. And it's like, all right, you take that and you run with it, and you just put your spin on it, and it works.
Yeah, I think for me too, like sometimes, like I basically only make mocks if I if I need something, if I just need something to fill a space in like a function in my little layout, I don't usually put that much effort into it. I just put something there as a placeholder until I might want to do something better. But sometimes I will either see something in the real world that's like, I want that thing and I want it perfect and I want it really good. Or sometimes I'll see a technique and I'm like, immediately I know what I would do with it. And it's like, once you have the technique, it's like, oh, I just need the pieces and I can make it and it's going to look awesome. Right? Like the rainbow took like 10 minutes to make once I figured out what I wanted to do, you know, and there's a little bit, the only thing you have to do is line the pieces up a little bit. Like you have to be a little tricky, but other than that, you know, that's not a hard thing. But when I saw the technique, I was like, people were using it for roofs and I was like, well, I don't want to do that, but I have train tracks and I don't use them. And then I was like, rainbow, big rainbow, gonna look awesome. And so, yeah. And then and then I needed cool clouds with it. So I just messed around till I got something that I liked. Yeah.
I think for me,
like basically I just wait for inspiration either from the real world or from some technique that I just see. So I follow a lot of technique types of accounts that show you how to do it.
I love all those like roofing techniques, and it's probably because I'm like an architecture dork, but that's probably why, like, what I, you know, subconsciously I see that stuff, and then I saw this roof, I was like, I don't like this roof, I want it to be something a little bit different. Yeah.
I think for me, instead of the competition, I like making things that people haven't seen before. And so if I have an idea that just kind of pops in my head, like for example, everyone's made a bat cave, but how many people have made a Lego Friends heart?
Yeah. Oh, we lost him again.
Oh no.
You're in the dungeon, friend. You're in the dungeon.
I heard a Lego Friends heart.
All in bright Friends colors, and it's awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know exactly what he's going to talk about.
Well, yeah, because we were just talking about it the other day, and he went back and tagged me and Brenda in in a photo from like 2 years ago, as he was talking about it. He's like, I think they're on there. So he tagged us, and it looks awesome. So if you go down a couple of years back.
Sorry.
No worries.
Am I good now?
Yeah.
So when did I finish your one sentence? But
when did I cut off? Which part did I cut off?
Well, you said heart.
Yeah.
Oh,
like Lego Friends heart. Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of people made a bat cave, but how many people have made a Lego Friends Heart Lake City bat cave? And so, I brought to Philly Brick Fest a very pink. Here's another room tour. It broke, but I was able to fix it a little bit. But
here we go. On tour with the Brick Assassin.
I love it.
So it has like a backing too, but that was my bat cave.
Yeah.
See?
So was that inspired by those minifigures?
Your minifigures are your inspiration to make those things. See that?
I actually made it before I had those the bats.
But you must have known they existed.
You've seen it coming.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't remember now, but oh no, I made it because there was a competition at Philly Brick Fest. You had to make a Lego Friends MOC. And if you won, you'd get all these Lego Friends sets. And so a bunch of us were making Lego Friends MOCs. Sorry? Yeah, it was a competition
that motivated you.
That would totally have motivated me too. Have you guys seen like on Instagram, like someone's done like pirate ships, but like with the Friends colors? Like big.
I saw recently Scooby-Doo. Someone made like Star Wars.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Like a Millennium Falcon and X-Wing. But I've seen the Friends ships and stuff too.
Yeah, those are cool.
The Friends colors. But yeah, for me, it's kind of making things that make me laugh, and I'm trying to make other people laugh with like.
Yeah.
Like I had this Star Wars. I remember it was like a Star Wars MOC competition, another competition. But these competitions make you build, right? And so people are making all these cool Star Wars MOC. But I made like it it was like a at a carnival. These Chewbaccas were like behind and you had to like throw the ball and hit the Chewbacca, and it was like with the Gungans were the carnival running the carnival. And so it was like one of those competitions where you had to like throw the ball and hit the Chewbaccas in this carnival thing. That was my Star Wars MOC, which isn't your typical Star Wars MOC, but it was using Star Wars characters.
Yeah.
So like different things kind of pop in your head and try to make something funny with it.
That's good. That's good storytelling. That is.
Yeah. I like making people laugh too. And Lego makes me, a lot of the stuff in Lego makes me laugh. Little play features. I don't care if I use them when I build it once. I want it there. I want to know it's there. I want to know that it will make me laugh if I want to use it again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like those hidden Easter eggs, right? That you were
exactly
talking about in your.
Yeah.
So when you got your mock idea, right, and you figure out what you're going to build, and you start building it. Now, is transporting it like a factor? Like, do you build it for transport? Are you going to make it modular? Are you going to do it on a mill's plate? I mean, how would you decide?
You're throwing this off to who first?
This is not something I have ever had to think about. Because
I don't know if I would ever display at I'm so competitive in so many other things in my life. Mm-hmm. I feel like Lego is probably the one space that I don't want to be, mm-hmm. Because I think there's like, especially because I've been so competitive for so long. Mm-hmm. But yes, if I was competing, then absolutely I would make it like modular, and it should like be the exact size of a specific Tupperware container. And there's only so many of those that can fit in the back of my car. I would like literally do the math,
Shows in general aren't a competition. Like they have awards for it's more for sharing. It's more for it's kind of like advertisement for the Lego group, basically. Okay. Because and we're the employees showing off these Lego creations to the customers who are the public, because the customers will see these creations, then they're like, oh, we want to build that too, so they'll buy more Lego. So that's kind of this like behind the scenes. This is what these conventions are. It's like,
but it's also advertisement for the hobby, and like the more the public season is like, this is awesome, the more people are going to get into it, the more people you have to talk to and bounce ideas off of.
But it's good for Lego though.
Competition or whatever, right?
But like, do non-Lego fans know about these shows?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, they'll go. Because a lot of these shows too have like, well, when we went to Philly, they had like an R2D2 running around, and they had like cosplay people, and so like other things to draw in.
Got it.
Yeah, and so like, I mean, Claire, I don't know if you've been on when I've talked about my dad being a model railroad guy.
Yeah.
But like since I was a kid, I would just go, he'd be running conventions or be at them either in Art City or elsewhere, and I just hang out all day. But like the main public would just come in like with their family because it's model railroads and every kid wants to see that, right?
Right. It's like a thing to take your family on the weekend to like kind of keep everybody busy or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
And,
and it's cool.
Yeah. That's really
cool. Kind of like going to Comic-Con or something.
Yeah, basically. That makes sense. It's like I've been to conventions for obviously like architecture, but I've also been to like big like surf competitions, and those are put on by like surf clothing vendors. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same concept. So, and like a lot of sports competitions are like that. It's like the clothing vendors. Like I've been to like ski and skateboard competitions, and they've been like that too. Yeah. It makes sense.
But yeah, like what I was getting at was like bringing your mock to a show isn't really. It's not really for competition. It's just. It's like a big Instagram, basically. Like how you throw stuff on Instagram.
Yeah.
You bring it to the show, and then if you happen to, like the award thing is just like something extra. Like they're like, oh, okay, this is the best space mock. This is the best. Whatever. There might be like different categories.
You're just
like something extra. I think Mel with the whole competition for
geez. Always a competition.
Always.
It is a trophy. It's about the trophy. It's a trophy. It's about the trophy. Oh, I've seen people get their face twisted up because they ain't win a trophy. I've seen it. The people, the face just twisted up. They'd be ready to pack up and roll out like right now. Like, let me tell you, I went to. I hope they're not watching because I always, me and my big mouth get me in trouble. But it was folks from my lug, Claire. It was folks from my lug, and Virginia Brick Fair decided that they were no longer going to have a Star Wars category. And
why,
folks? I don't know. They just decided they weren't going to do it, and so these folks had a whole entire section table in our lug, and they were ready to pack up their stuff like right now, and it was like Friday, and the show didn't end until Sunday.
They're just like, we're done.
They didn't even get to the public days yet, and they were ready to pack up their stuff, Claire, and go home.
Take their ball and go home.
Just because they weren't going to honor the Star Wars, MOCs in their
like in the awards.
Yeah.
They could still display them, obviously.
You could still display, but you wasn't going to be entering in any.
It's definitely slimy to tell them that like the day of after they set up and stuff like that. But did they pack up and leave?
No. The reason why they didn't is because someone talked to them, and Beyond the Brick saved the day. They came around and highlighted their stuff, and that's just like when Beyond the Brick comes to your table, that's just like a trophy in itself, right?
Got it.
Because then at that point, your YouTube, your Instagram, everything goes berserk because they shouted you out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, they got a little shout out on Beyond the Brick, and all was right with the university.
Josh
was Brick Fair, Virginia.
Yeah,
Brick Fair, Virginia. They still could have won in like a more general category though, right?
They put them in like the pop culture category, but then you're going against everybody that's in pop culture.
Fair enough.
So what do you win? This is Brick Fair, Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you win a little trophy with the emblem on it. It's probably about that big there, like that.
Yeah, so it's like a little. They're gonna take their ball and go home just for.
Yeah, exactly.
I never won one, Claire, so I'm a little salty. I am. I never won one, so
but
I did win a Rocky though. I did win a gold Rocky, so I'm a little
bit.
That? I'm still D-rated. Matter of fact, let me go get it for you. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's another brick. It's a brick built Rocky Balboa.
And it's in Philadelphia.
Oh, got it. Makes sense.
It's all bragging rights too, I guess.
I was gonna say, yeah. Is there any monetary gain? Because you've probably spent like a small fortune on the mock itself, usually,
Yeah, but I hear you, Claire. Like for me too, like the last thing I was really into was disc golf, and like that's inherently competitive. Even just practicing is like you go out, you play with buddies, and you bet a couple cents here and there, and like
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so good.
I love it.
Hey, Claire. I'm still the reigning champion.
Make yourself big.
I'm surprised that's like not in. I'm surprised that's like not right next to you in like every scene, or like next to Voltron up there.
It should be right. It should be. I got it up on my shelf in the living room. So it's not even in my Lego room.
It's so special. It's not even in a Lego room. It's like a life achievement award.
Yeah. First award I ever won. So I'm a little bit, you brag about stuff like that. It's the first award Lego award that I won.
Oh, if I got something like that, it would go it'd go like next to like my master's degree, or like
Yeah.
the same thing.
But you would mod it first, right?
I'm still the reigning champ.
I'd probably make it like effeminate or something.
I don't even display my degrees. I'd put that up though.
Oh yeah, I think mine is like I have my degree. It's like slotted behind the door in between my workout mats.
Nice. Mine are in tubes.
I'm a flex.
Yeah,
that's right.
For your question about packing, what I've done when I brought my my MOCs, I would buy those peanuts, like the those styrofoam peanuts from Staples, and then I would I'd put the MOC inside like a plastic square tub, and then throw up all the peanuts in there, and then that way things won't move around. And then I'd bring a couple garbage bags, so when I'd get to the convention, I'd take the MOC out, then I'd dump all the peanuts back into the garbage bag, and then so it's ready to pack up to go. That's what I do. Like, I've seen other people do other things, I reuse those peanuts from 2015, 2016, and 2017, and they didn't. They're still. I still have them, and so it was a good investment. I probably bought like eight or 10 bags of these like peanuts.
I wish there was. They're not the most sustainable, but they're so effective. That's the thing with stuff like that. I'd probably like pack it with like all my socks or something like that, and then lose my entire sock collection in the process. But yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I've made a building, like a 5-foot building. It was the Wayne Enterprises building. I made it modular, right? And so I could just stack them on top of, and everything like that. And then when I did the Avengers Tower, I forgot about mobility because I was so excited about the build. And so I'm trying to squeeze this 5-foot building in the back of Pilot, Honda Pilot.
You got to get a U-Haul for that.
I was gonna say,
I was off modular, but then I just forgot. Once I started getting into the build, I just kind of forgot, and I was so up there. And by the end of it, I looked down and I was like, you know what, I messed up. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go and redesign it, and I'll probably go live and rebuild it again. I mean, it's up, but I'll probably just rebuild it so I can move it a little bit better than I can right now.
That'd be a cool thing. I'm sure people would love to see that.
Yeah, modular is the way to go. I remember. Do you remember Port City Bricks? Jeremy and Andrea. They were a channel before, but they made this huge Wreck-It Ralph building, like huge. But they didn't make it modular. So I remember it was in their big van, and a bunch of us were helping them carry it into the convention center. But it was just one big, huge building.
That sounds like a terrible idea. Can you get through doors with that? It's like when you buy furniture and then you don't even realize you have to like take the door off or the frame off, and then you have to redo construction. Your house has to be craned in. Like I feel like everybody makes that mistake at some point in their life.
Yeah, it was that Wreck-It Ralph building in the cartoon, like that big one. But
it's like a tower, right?
Yeah.
Rick James says it's not about the size of the building. It's always about the size. Always. When you walk through the door, Rick, when they walk through the door, they're like, oh man, look at that. It's always about the size. Always. I don't even want to hear that. Yeah, I've seen some large size buildings as well. Like Bricks for Chris was one of them, right? And he actually, pushed his building over to make room, at the end of the day. That he broke it. He broke it
last
intentionally.
Like, how tall was that? I wish Bricks for Chris was here.
It was tall.
Yeah, it was pretty tall. I think it was like probably up to 6 feet, if not more than that. It's probably.
Oh my god.
Man. It was a very, very tall, and he just pushed. He's on his Instagram or his YouTube, pushing it over and just letting it fall into millions of pieces.
That's probably really fun to do. It's like the drop test everyone wants, to see.
My concern would be like I'm trying to preserve the pieces, like because we definitely want to, I would hate to like push that over. You really break real Lego, like you really have a real break. It's pretty tough. And speaking of which, not that I say that I like watching buildings topple over, because I don't. I cringe the thought. Even at Lego Masters, they showed me like, grinning ear to ear, and it's like, dude, that's not what happened. I'm like, that's not what happened. It got me sitting there grinning ear to ear. I was devastated that Aaron's house had toppled over. I was devastated. I was like, yo, like I would want to wish that on anybody, but TV's TV, man. They showing me grinning in the ear like I'm the Grinch.
Here I have a video of.
Oh man! Oh
yeah. Hey, that building was remarkable, man. It had so much detail on it and everything. He just pushed it right over like nothing. Like
that's crazy. That's hard to watch.
It's also like, do you think it's like a good thing to be able to separate yourself from the brick and not be so? I don't know. I would be very emotional, but sometimes I'd think maybe it's a good attitude to have. Like,
you're an architect, right? You have a lot of projects and stuff like that you've done, right? And that's in your portfolio that you're kind of like emotionally attached to, right?
Not anymore. I used to, for sure. They do this thing where like in school, like especially the really old school teachers, they would like break your models and they would really like try to break you down. That's like part of the learning process. Wow. It's like very tough. Yeah. And then but the problem is the life cycle of actual buildings in real life, like especially really big buildings, which is like what I worked on for a while. Some of the life cycles can be anywhere from like 5 to 7 to 11 years, from like design process to actual completion. And at that point, when the life cycles are so long, you're kind of sick and tired of it at the end of it. And you're like, the last thing you want to do is look at it. So like right before my sabbatical, people are like, oh, are you going to miss like your projects? And it's like, I don't even want to look at them. If I ever like go back to this company, I don't even want to be staffed on those projects again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't want them back. I'd want something new because it's been 5 years that I've been with those projects. Yeah. So it kind of like forces you like out of it. But there are other things like in my life, like other design projects that I've done. And yeah, I'm definitely emotionally attached to them, especially like things that I've done in my own home. Then
My son gave me a bunch of his MOCs that he had in his room. I still haven't taken them apart, even though I want to for the pieces, but I don't know if like later on he's like, oh, do I? Because he has like a bunch of superhero ones, but he gave me like this whole big bag, and there's this huge bag here of all these brick. That's good pieces, like good colors, and they're just like figures of like different monochromatic colors of like different. They're more like anime, like type Gungan style MOCs that he was into. But I don't know. I still haven't parted it out yet. Even though the plan was like when I got it, I was excited to. But then thinking about it, I'm like, oh, do I want to take it apart yet? Because it is his. Expecting you to do that? Yeah, because he was like cleaning out his like they were all on his shelf in his room, like all these things.
He doesn't want them. He doesn't care about them.
He says he doesn't care about them anymore. So I was like, oh, okay, so I can finally use because for the longest time, like whenever he would build, he would like empty out all my drawers, and then I'm like, oh, so I had to like restock. But then now that he's not into it, my drawers are like overflowing now because he's not.
You can of course document them either with pictures or with a
they're all documented now on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, but you could even when you're taking it apart, you could film the whole thing and then you'd see where every single piece was. And so if ever he wanted to have it, he could rebuild
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think he knows how to do it. Even I don't know how to make his figures. Like he won an award at Philly for like best superhero MOC. Because he had all these like Marvel superheroes and they're pretty good actually.
Nice.
I don't know how he does them, but now he's not really into he's in his dark age.
Well, he might come back.
If that's a new topic. Yeah, I know that's a thing. But
maybe save a couple of the best ones.
Yeah, I probably won't take apart the superhero ones. I'll probably take apart like the monochromatic ones because they're not pop culture as we are talking as we'll bring it all around to the center. But I don't know. We'll see.
Cool.
I've taken apart only like maybe a couple of my own mocks. I made this like Batman Joker movie theater once, and I had it on display for a while, but then I finally took it apart just because I don't know. It wasn't calling to me like other things.
Yep, I get that.
Yep. All right, we are at that golden hour, friends.
Yeah.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Next week,
we're having fun.
Yeah, next week. I mean, we can go my channel, we can go Claire's channel if you want. It doesn't matter. We'll figure that out. And I don't have a topic in mind if we're on mine, but we can figure this out.
Cool.
Yep.
We will post on our various social media. And but yeah.
All right.
Indeed.
Any lasting words from our host? Rocky. Keep mocking if you want a Rocky.
I love it.
Good night, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye for now.